the interview is one of the main highlights of the trip. I'm nervous meeting J.K. Rowling because she's such a good writer, and I've been trying to write novels like hers, but they just haven't been as good. No, they haven't worked out.
You could ask her how she, what makes a good author.
I know, that would be a great question, but I'm not sure whether she'd like to reveal her secret.
Hello, Emma. Hello, how do you do?
Good, thank you.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, I am too.
Okay. So, why did you start writing the series?
Well, the idea hit me on this train journey when I was travelling from Manchester to London in England, and it just came out of nowhere. The idea for a boy who didn't know he was a wizard and received a letter telling him he had to place at wizard school, and from that lots of the plot as it appears in the 7 books evolved on that train journey. So by the time I got off the train, I was so excited at the idea of writing this book that I just couldn't wait to get home, and that's how it started.
What was the very first thing that inspired you to write the books?
Well, I think that first idea was one that engaged me so much. It made me feel so excited about the possibilities of that plot that it gave me the motivation to persevere with it. I mean, I think that many people, it can be quite discouraging writing when you haven't got a publishing deal. You've got to have a lot of faith in what you're writing just to keep going and finishing the novel. And I just loved the story so much, so that's what kept me going, really.
Are any of the characters in the stories like some of the people you met at school or when you were a kid?
Not very obviously. I think the exception would be, I've often said that Ron Weasley is a lot like a boy I was at school with called Sean, who is now obviously a grown man, and Ron isn't really Sean. I mean, they're not the same. But I noticed as I wrote Ron during Philosopher's Stone, the first book, that he sounded like Sean, and that certainly wasn't a coincidence. Some of his humour is very Seanish.
Waiting for book number 6, and fans all over the world have had a chance to compete and try and be here tonight, and they've jetted in from all over the world. We're talking about Australia, Singapore and Canada. And where is Emma? You're Emma, come with me. Tell everybody where you're from, Emma.
I'm from Australia.
Australia, and you are the overall winner from Australia, that's right, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Fantastic. Are you going to be up all night reading the book?
Probably, yes.
I thought so. Well, I tell you now, you have got such an incredible night ahead of you. Lots of surprises in store, not only for Emma here, but for you as well. Emma, I'll say it now, have a fantastic and magical night, okay? There you go, Emma. See you later.
The horses were really cool, and I liked it when they were going faster, because you see all the reporters running out behind you.
And what would be the house that you picked to be in? Where are you from?
Slytherin or Gryffindor?
Why?
Well, Slytherin, because they're really great schemers, and Gryffindor, because the people that I chose to be, they're brave.
I think you've got to go a long way to beat, as an ideal spell in the world, invisibility.
I would cast the transfiguration spell, and I would turn myself into Angelina Jolie for 10 minutes, so I would know what it was like to live behind those lips.
Coming up, magic about to happen at Edinburgh Castle.
Is a special place hidden from the Muggle world where wizards buy their wizarding goods.
You can buy books, Quidditch supplies,
cauldrons,
broomsticks,
potions,
quells, animals.
You can have a cat or a toad or a rat. Or a spider like mine.
Harry also goes to Ollivander's wand shop to buy his wand.
You don't choose the wand chooses you.
The interesting thing about Harry's wand is that it has a phoenix tail feather in it.
And it's from the tail of the St. Phoenix, it's Lord Voldemort.
You can hear the crowd. Do you know why they're screaming? Because J.K. Rowling herself has just arrived. She's just coming out of the car just here. Look, now she doesn't normally speak to the press, but we're going to give it a go. Come over this side. Come on, let's see if we can speak to her. Joe, hello to you. How are you? It's J.K. Rowling! Now, Joe, can I have just 2 seconds? I can see you have the book. Can I touch it?
Oh, if you must, one finger.
I've touched the book! Now, look, one more quick question. Can I have a little peek?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, well, look, last question. One more. I don't need to ruin it for anyone, but can you tell me what happens at the end?
No.
Oh, well, listen, good luck tonight. We cannot wait. Have a fantastic time, and I can't wait for it. Let's hear it for J.K. Rowling! How exciting is this?
Do you think you will be writing more books featuring some of the other characters from the Harry Potter series, like Snape and what he did before?
I don't think, I'm pretty sure I won't. My feeling is that I planned the series as a 7-book series, that in book 7, I think your questions will be answered. People will always have a few unresolved questions that we wonder things about the characters, and those things will probably be answered in fan fiction. You know, people get a lot of enjoyment of writing their own stories about my characters, and good luck to them. If they enjoy it, that's fantastic, and some of it's very good.
Did any things such as problems, fears and good things ever influence the way you wrote the books?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've all met people like Draco Malfoy. In fact, nearly every reader of your age I've ever met has said, I know someone just like Draco Malfoy, and sometimes it's a girl. Many of my hopes and fears are Harry's hopes and fears, in that we all want to we're anxious about the same kind of things, although we rarely admit it. So we're anxious about fitting in, we're anxious about coping with work, and we're anxious about friendships and being made fun of and all of these things. Sometimes you want to be different, sometimes you want to be just like everyone else, and I think Harry goes through all of those things. So I was very influenced I was also influenced by fantasies I'd had in my childhood. I had a fantasy about flying horses and a flying coach, and eventually I used that in Goblet of Fire, as you know.
How do you think up the names of all the books, like Gringotts and Hogwarts?
Gringotts, I think, came from ingots. You know, you get ingots of gold, like these bars. So, and I just liked the sound of it. So to me it sounded, grr words can sound quite aggressive or quite, or even sinister. So I really combined Gringotts. I just thought it sounded like a little bit of it, a bit intimidating, but it had that allusion to gold in it. Hogwarts, I always wanted Hog to be in there for some reason. I messed around with various different versions of Hogwarts till I'd settled on Hogwarts. I like it. I think it sounds comical and inviting at the same time. So you think about words like that and you try lots of different things, and then suddenly one fits and you're happy with it.
What one spell would you like to bring to life, and why?
Oh, there are so many, aren't there? So many. I think, for me, the outstanding spell is Expecto Patronum. And you know what that does, don't you? It creates the Patronus, it creates a kind of spirit guardian in a way. And that's partly because of what it does. It's a protector, and you could protect yourself and other people that you cared about with a Patronus. But it's also because it's such a beautiful spell. You know, the image of the silver Patronus emerging from the wand, I really like that.
It's on its way, and she's going to read it just for you.
If I had an invisibility cloak, I'd disappear for 2 weeks like this, and I'd be on a beach in Malta having cold drinks. But when I come back, it would be as if nothing changed.
I would probably get the directory of all 5-star hotels around the world and then just work my way through them from A to Z, staying in the suites until I got caught.
Coming up, the Harry Potter adventure begins.